What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Byte for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple that you guys just can't get enough of. Now, a couple weeks ago, we asked you, the Apple Byters, if your battery life was affected by iOS 5, and it was really a mixed bag of responses. Apple released an official statement saying they've identified a few bugs that are affecting battery life for a small number of customers, and a software update is coming in a few weeks. Now, while you wait, the Big A has already released iOS 5.0.1 to developers that addresses the battery issues, fixes documents in the cloud syncing, and brings multitasking gestures to the original iPad. So it's coming soon, and see, who says Apple doesn't support old hardware? Now, if you're also wondering what happened to the iTunes Match service or completely forgot about it, Apple said it would be available at the end of October, and if you look really closely at your calendar, yeah, it's November. But the second beta for iTunes 10.5.1 was released to those developers to continue to test the service, and it's also available for testing on the Apple TV. Now, Apple has provided no new estimate for a launch date up to this point. Now, this one will get your attention. Apple is taking on porn. See, now you're awake, Charlie. Now, Apple filed a complaint with the World Intellectual Property Organization against several domain names featuring the word iPhone that then forward to mobile naughty sites. One of them is the name of a recently released iPhone product, and they sure had vision since the site was registered in August of 2008. The Big A doesn't want consumers to be in for a surprise when they're looking up iPhone information, and in this case, talking dirty to Siri is probably the least of their worries. All right, let's stick with the iPhone 4S and Siri with a how-to for updating your Twitter and Facebook status with your voice.
Hey everyone, I'm Sharon Vaknin for CNET.com, and today I'll show you how to update Facebook and Twitter with Siri. What we'll do is set up Facebook and Twitter with SMS updating and send the updates via text message through Siri. To get started, text START to 40404. You should get a reply from Twitter asking you for your username, so go ahead and reply. Do the same when they ask you for your password. Once it's confirmed, reply with OK and you should be all set. Now go ahead and add 40404 as a new contact on your phone and name it Twitter for easy access. Now let's do the same thing for Facebook. Text hello to 32665. Click the link in the reply and Safari will open up to complete the setup process. Choose your settings and hit save. Finally, add 32665 as a new contact and name it Facebook. Now you can use these commands to update Facebook or Twitter with Siri. Send a text to Twitter. Artificial intelligence is the future.
Here's your message to Twitter.
You can go back to driving, jogging, or doing whatever you are doing. One thing you should know is that these short codes are only good for the US and a few other countries. Be sure to check the Twitter and Facebook sites to find the right codes for your area.
Thanks, Sharon, and for all of our Android viewers, you can set your phone contacts up the same way, so that tip works for everyone. Now back to the stories and what's in store for the Cupertino kids in the future. DigiTimes reports that Apple plans to completely overhaul its product lineups, including the iPad, iMac, iPhone, and MacBook Air in 2012, and is expected to finalize order volumes for key parts and components for the next iPad sometime in December. Then DigiTimes started smoking a little too much of the good stuff and claims a new iPad will be out in March of 2012 that will be thinner than the iPad 2 and offer better battery life, and that a real next-gen iPad 3 won't be launched until the third quarter of 2012. So 2 new iPads in a year, right? That's why this story is a lot further down in our show. Now, earlier in the week, Japanese website Mako Takara says the rumored ultra-thin 15-inch MacBook Air or Pro, whatever you want to call it, has entered the test phase. It makes sense for Apple to go in this direction, and I know a lot of you just started drooling. But what about the future of the Mac Pro that hasn't been updated since mid-2010? Apple Insider reports that even with the coming availability of next-gen Sandy Bridge desktop CPUs, people inside Apple are questioning the future of the Mac Pro line and whether they will even release updated models with the drop-off in sales for Apple's high-end workstations, and the same trend affecting the entire desktop industry. It's no longer a profitable operation for Apple, and the Thunderbolt connectivity might be able to assume some of the roles that the flexibility of a Mac Pro required, and a super high-end iMac might be in the future instead. Now, Thunderbolt still has a ways to go, but we've seen Apple abandon products that people aren't buying, like the Xserve, so we'll see how Apple reacts with this one. All right, on to the quick bites. Steve Jobs' biography was a success, with Nielsen reporting that the book sold 379,000 copies, and it's already the 18th best-selling book this year, despite being on sale for just over a week. And Apple announced the launch of GarageBand for the iPhone and iPod Touch that was previously an iPad-only app, so you can make music with your fingers, which is the way music is still made today. All right, let's announce our winners for the Woogie 2 huggable stuffed thingies from Griffin Technology. Thanks to all of you who wrote in, and congrats go out to Mohammed Kareem, who sent in this awesome picture of him hugging his own Woogie, but we're giving him one for his niece instead. And David Alpern, for your son, you're getting a Woogie 2 too. Also, if you didn't win, our friends at Griffin Technology are still offering their CNET 15% off code through their website, so take advantage of it before the end of the month. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Keep on sending your emails to theapplebyte@cnet.com, where you can ask us anything. I'm Brian Tong. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for another Bite of the Apple.